Hello, my beautiful souls. I'm back. I've done my move, kind of settled in. I'm ready to get onto those readings, and I know there's a few of you that have paid already and you're waiting on your read. So I'm just going to get started here with the weekly read for the twin flame. And the top line is going to be the masculine, the bottom line is going to be the feminine. And what I'm seeing and what I'm really picking up on right now is I'm going to just get into this, what I'm hearing from spirit now, for the feminine is, excuse me, we have a lot of chatter going on in our mind. There's so much chatter going on that we're not clearly hearing what the spirit is telling us. So it's time for a lot of the feminine out there just to kind of quiet your mind. I see a lot of completion has been done. Those of you that have been in a relationship with a soulmate, you've learned some valuable and very profound lessons, and you've done some healing, which has helped you to become more and more ready for your reunion with your twin. You've acquired patience and you've really done a lot of work. And this isn't just the work that we hear repeatedly on going inside and working on your inner being. This is all the work. Because there's a place where you need to be, where your paths are actually going to cross. And this isn't so much about your inner healing or anything like that, because just having that soul connection, the both of you don't have to physically come together or be together to start the healing. The healing will happen as time goes on and as your soul begins to bring these things to the surface. So it's not about you going deep within and looking for those nooks and crannies inside of you, those deepest, darkest parts where you need the healing. This is more you becoming more spiritual, becoming more intuitive, releasing all fear, releasing all doubt, and just listening to where the spirit is guiding you. Okay, so for those of you that have really done a lot of that work, where you've become more of a spiritual person and you've become closer and more connected to source, you're at that point now. This is a thumbs up for you all. Some of you may have gone through another wave of an awakening, and you've had some type of an illness, throat, head, ears. This is all part of your Kundalini awakening, and Spirit is really saying it's just, just chill, just relax, just trust. You're not really, really sick. This is just the Kundalini awakening, and you're getting more and more connected and more clear connection with Source. But because you have a lot of chattering going on in your mind and overthinking and overanalyzing, that you're not really getting the messages through. So you tend now just to quiet your mind, even if you have the sore throat, the ear infection, the headaches. You're being asked to just kind of quiet your mind. This illness that you believe is actually the Kundalini awakening, hitting those final steps and wanting to clear you out and bam, that connection to source just straight on through. But you have so much going on up there. Your throat chakra, of course, is, the way you're verbalizing and speaking your truth and the things that you say. And so we're kind of stuck there, okay? So a lot of that chattering that's going on inside of your head, you need to kind of call that into submission and control that. But I do see that you've made so much, the feminine has made so much progress, and it's like there's a book that is closing now and a new book is about to open. And this is wonderful, this is beautiful. Everything that you've ever dreamed of and wanted, it's like it's at your hands right now, but you still have just a few more steps, and these steps could even be the hardest tests that you will face in this journey. But I do see you coming into that full love, contentment, and joy, that unconditional love, that waking up, looking at yourself and knowing that you feel whole and complete. Now, getting into the masculine, I'm seeing that the masculine and those that are the masculine that are in a relationship, and this is going to be a very karmic relationship. All hell is about to break loose. They're going to go back into some of their old patterns because of the stress, the intensity, the misery, just all hell breaking loose. So, for those in the masculine that may have some addictions, you're going to be tested right now. You are going to be tested so deeply that, as hell breaks loose and all this drama and confusion and everything that's going on is like unleashed. This is like a huge test for you not to fall back on that old pattern. So if you were an addict and you feel like picking up a beer, or if you stop smoking, some habit that you've had that you've stopped, or even a mind frame for those of you that are kind of manic depressants or suicidal, this is going to be a test for you. So be strong, be brave. This shit is coming your way, and you need to stand and be brave. I do see once you pass this ultimate test, you'll be looking with a more clear vision. You'll be looking more into the future and more at what you want. But I see like this test is coming out of that karmic relationship. So I do feel that a lot of you are going to break free from that karmic relationship. You're going to see that it is this relationship that is actually setting those triggers for you to have those thought patterns coming back. Where you thought you've healed from alcoholism, now all of a sudden you're wanting to pick up a drink because this karmic relationship, you're not finding the fulfillment, you're not finding the peace and the joy that you once had in that comfort zone. So right now it's like you're being pushed out and you're being forced. So it's another test. So I see the feminine and the masculine are both being tested right now. But a lot of the masculine right now is still feeling a little unworthy and unsure of the next move because that karmic relationship has become such a comfort zone. And I'm not even say comfort zone, it's more like it's become a habit. And you're so comfortable that you're even afraid of change. You're afraid of change, which is kind of for me to look at a masculine energy, which is to be strong and controlling. And now all of a sudden it's like, wow, you're at a weak point right here because you have this fear coming in. I do feel that once you've overcome this, you're going to be more in that mind frame where you're looking to have more stability, more of a nurturing relationship. I do see the masculine also having a lot of arguments going on inside of their head as well. Because of this karmic relationship, it's almost like there's so much confusion that's going on that they're not sure. They're really unsure where this relationship is going. And it's pretty amazing because I see the male or the masculine coming out of a karmic relationship, whereas the feminine is coming out of this soulmate relationship. But as both of them leave these relationships, they're facing tests. But at the end of the test, I am seeing the rainbow. So, okay. But feminine, you really need to, and the masculine has a lot of arguing going on in his head as well. He's trying to analyze and understand, and that's part of, I guess, where he's trying to break this habit that has been broken. And again, I want to say, like, depression or alcoholism or something that they have overcome. And again, this may not resonate with every one of the masculine out there, but it's going back to like your old pattern, because this relationship is really it's on fire right now. And this is about you taking that step and getting the hell out of that relationship and moving forward on to this other journey. This other journey is going to bring you that love, that nurturing, and that fulfillment that you do need. You're not going to be constantly harassed or watched or looked over, because your karmic partner is really kind of stabbing at you and stabbing at you. And don't, I almost see like, there's knives going in your back from this karmic partner. Like, you're not to trust them. You can't trust them. You don't want to trust them. And this is what you're learning now. And the closer and closer you get to walking away from that karmic relationship, the more and more vengeful that partner becomes. And I guess I'm feeling that that's where that fear is coming in to leave it. Maybe they have these threats going against you. And I've heard many people say that they haven't left the relationship because that partner threatens to commit suicide. And that could be something that comes up for the masculine here, where they feel that heavy burden that they're not leaving the relationship because the other person is unstable, and they want to be nurturing for that person and help that person, but then they just stay trapped in it. But this is where their eyes are going to be open, and they're going to realize that pattern and realize what's going on, and that's where the masculine is going to start walking. But this is part of the masculine's greatest test now, is to walk away from that. Do I see union? In the feminine, I see union. In the feminine energy, I see union. And the masculine, I still see that there's ego going on. And this, again, may not resonate for everybody. May not resonate for everybody. A lot of you may be coming into union with your masculine. And your masculine may not even be going through these tests. These tests he or she may have already overcome. So, and it looks like a lot of drama for the masculine energy, and the feminine energy is more so just within the feminine, because you've come out of this wonderful soulmate relationship and you've taken with you some very profound lessons. So the feminine is doing really, really well. But the masculine right now is kind of going through hell, and I want to kind of giggle and say, this is part of their karma probably for making the feminine go through so much waiting and wanting and waiting and wanting, right? Okay, that's about all I'm picking up just now. The only tool that I can give for the feminine out there is just kind of call your mind into a still quietness and listen to what the source is telling you. The spirit is guiding you, and just listen, because there's messages that are trying to come through, but you have so much chatter going on in your head. And that's also the same for the masculine. There's a lot of arguments going on in their head, but this is more so where they're analyzing that relationship, that karmic relationship. They're really analyzing it right now, and some of them are wondering, what the hell am I doing here? And it's that comfort zone where they just need to pick up their shit and just start walking. Okay, so for those of you out there that are waiting on your read, I'll be getting on to them this weekend. And thank you for all your prayers and well wishes on my move. Just kind of getting used to things in another state, and really missing my home, but trying to make it here. So all your questions, comments, likes, and subscriptions, I thank you all. You guys are my boost, and for me on my journey right now, apart from my twin, it doesn't feel like I'm apart, but I know that God has placed me here for a reason, and whatever that reason is, I gotta fulfill it, gotta get through it, and I know it's only to help me be a better person. And we'll see where this goes. But I do miss the fact that I can't actually see my twin, but we can still communicate. So for all of you out there, live your day with love, laughter, and harmony. Namaste.